Hello, welcome this morning to this short session. We're going to talk about depreciation methods. Depreciation methods, some terminologies when it comes to depreciation in real estate. This comes out of your common law section and the valuation section of your national content. Depreciation methods. Very important concept to understand for the state exam. My name is John Enzing. I'm a certified real estate instructor both in Louisiana and Florida. My specialty is to private tutor you, the student, and prep you for the exam. If you need some instruction, go to privateturingsession.com, privateturingsession.com, book an appointment, or just email me at john.enzing@gmail.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Here we go. We're going to talk about depreciation methods. What is depreciation? Well, depreciation is how much of an asset's value has been used up. Okay, how much of an asset's value has been used up. In real estate, depreciation, when you buy an investment property, depreciation is the allowable or the economic or useful life of that property in your possession. You may get a math problem that deals with depreciation that may give you an economic life of 30 years. Okay, so you bought it for X dollars here, let's say 200,000, and after 30 years, the depreciable value is going to be zero. Now, don't confuse that with real estate being an appreciable asset. We're talking about if no contribution cost is put into the property to maintain it, upgrade it. In other words, you just let it go. You didn't put any money in it at all. After 30 years, that thing's probably going to be ready to fall over. Okay? This is what we're talking about when we're talking about depreciation. Okay? How much of an asset's value has been used up over time. Now, we're going to look at three types this morning. First one we're going to talk about is physical deterioration. And then we're going to get into functional obsolescence. And then we're going to wrap up with external obsolescence. Now, you need to know these three terms and the concepts behind these three terms, and you need to recognize this when it comes to the state exam, okay? Very important section right here, these three terms. Now, what is physical deterioration? This is normal wear and tear on the property. You, the property owner, has control over this. Like I said earlier, if it's 30 years on an economic life and you don't put any money back into the property, it's going to be, to the point where you may have dry rotted stuff inside. You may have weather, your roof may be out, may have leaks. In other words, no money was put back into the property to maintain it. Okay, so it really, the value of the property in its physical presence, physical deterioration, over time, it just deteriorates, okay? So that's normal wear and tear. You, the property owner, has control over this, okay? Now, the next one is called functional obsolescence. Functional obsolescence has to deal with poor and eccentric in design. What do I mean by that? Well, I like to use the old kind of the memory aid or a word analogy that the property is functionally obsolete. Now, the term functionally does not mean it's not habitable, does not mean that it's not the code. It's just not functional. For example, a 4-bedroom, 1-bath. Now imagine a family of 4 sharing 1 bathroom. Okay, you got the parents and let's say a daughter and a son, or even 2 daughters. Okay, so when you're looking at functional obsolescence, you're looking at a property that is functionally obsolete. In other words, something has to be done to get it to where it is functional. Okay, for example, you're putting another bathroom in there, make it a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, so we're talking about poor and eccentric in design. Now, 2 terms you want to know about. One's called curable and the other one's called incurable. Curable, and pay attention to this very closely. Curable and incurable only go with functional obsolescence. What does that mean? Well, when I say curable, I'm putting a cost contribution into the property. Let's go back to our example. 4-bedroom, 1-bath. Functionally obsolete. It just doesn't flow well. It's not going to make sense for a family of 4. Okay. So we want to add a bedroom, or excuse me, a bathroom, make it a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay. So you can have a primary bathroom maybe for the parents, and you can have a guest bathroom or a hall bathroom for the children. So that's going to make it more functional. It's going to flow better. Well, I've got to put a cost contribution into that bathroom. And let's say it was $25,000 is what it cost me to add a bathroom. Well, if I get the house appraised and that house comes back at $30,000 over what I contributed, which is 25, so I'm $5,000 better, then it's curable. If I were to do the same thing and add a bathroom, and my cost contribution again is 25,000, but it only brought me back 15,000 in value, then it's incurable. So curable, incurable has nothing to do with code, doesn't have anything to do with the finishing or the look. It's an economic principle. What money I put in, if it brings me an appraised value above that cost contribution, it's curable. If it doesn't, it's incurable. And then we have external, what they call economic obsolescence. This is the outside of the survey lines, okay? When I say the outside of the survey lines, I'm talking about outside your lot, okay? So if you're on a 100 by 300 lot, everything outside of you has an effect externally and or economically. You have no control over external obsolescence. So let's say you built a beautiful big home, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 4,000 square foot, kind of an Acadian looking home, beautiful 2-story, brand new construction. And then about 6 months or a year later, 3 or 4 more homes get built right next to you and across the street that are only 2,500 square feet, okay? Half the size of your home. Well, what happened there? You don't have any control over that, okay? They're allowed to build that home. That's their home. But what is that going to do to you? Well, there's a term called progression and regression, okay? So you would fall into a regression, which means you got the big home, and all the small homes around you are going to pull your value down, okay? Because that's what's around you. So what you actually built this beautiful home for may begin to depress or regress due to external obsolescence, economic obsolescence, something you have no control over. Another example would be if you built that same beautiful home, and then on the back side of your home, say 1,000 foot, you may have some type of servitude that's a green space. And then on the other side of that green space, they put an environmental waste plant or some type of industrial plant, okay? What's that going to do to the value of your house? Again, you have no control over what happens outside your boundary lines, okay, or your survey lines. The only thing you do have control over is physical deterioration and functional obsolescence, okay? These 3 terms and principles you need to know for the state exam, okay? Remember, physical deterioration you have control over, you're just maintaining the property. Functional obsolescence, does it make sense? Does a house flow? 4-bedroom, 1-bath? No, that's functionally not going to flow well. So I've got to put a cost contribution. If it brings back greater than my cost, it's curable. If it brings back the value less, it's incurable. And then external and economic obsolescence, you have no control over. That's just what happens outside. Your survey lines is going to affect the value of your property, okay? Hey, listen, I hope you enjoyed this short session on depreciation methods. Listen, again, if you need some help, one-on-one tutoring, go to privateturingsession.com, privateturingsession.com. Good luck on your exam. Bye for now.